either. Like, that shit's just, I don't
Bro.
fucking know. The poor Dolphins.
Dude, the poor Dolphins. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be like 29, 30 before we're gonna get back to a winning season again. That's what it feels like, man. Like we just
Bro.
had two, but like, brother, the main talking point that I saw people using was that, oh well, he cut Kyle Van Noy before the season started and he balled out for the Patriots. Bro, that's one player. That's one player. Like,
That
come on,
happens
man.
all the time.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like, and Kyle Van Noy went back to his like old situation where he like already knew what was up with Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? So like, I don't.
At the end of the day, bro, it's about wins and losses. When y'all franchise was, or when the season was going shitty, and they could have just folded the towel and been like, "Yep, we're done for the year with 1-7." He got them to 9-8, meaning he won more games than he lost. With a quarterback who is the equivalent of Baker Mayfield, the O line is horrible, and he still got them to 9-8. Guess what? That I don't know definitively, but that's either the same record or better record than the Browns, who have a much better roster than the Dolphins. And wait, Jacoby Brissett started like 3 or 4 of those games.
We don't have our run game is atrocious as well. Like we had like a 5 or 6 like 5 running backs like just swapping in and out, just trying to make shit shake. And like I don't know, man. I don't know. We had it all set up.
Bro, this is what I would tell you is the same thing I told Matt Cain, bro. Look, loving a football team is the same thing as two people being in a relationship, bros. And after a while, bro, sometimes it's like, I can't do this relationship no more. Like, I love you, but it's not for the best for me. You feel me? So if y'all need to break up with the Dolphins and find you another girl out there, bros, I would not fault you for doing so.
All right, can I be honest with you, Chaz? Here, I'll go grab
Yeah.
it real quick. It's gonna take me
Yep.
like 10 seconds.
Yep, good. Do your thing, bro. And I would say that too while Zacc Dissy is grabbing what he grabbed. And I would say to all Dolphins fans, to all Browns fans, you feel me, to all Giants fans, if you need to break up with your team and go find you another team, don't be afraid.
The other pieces. Oh, is that them up there? Nah.
Don't be afraid.
I have an LT, Sean Merriman, Darren Sproles. I have a Phillip Rivers. This is my 15-year-old player cut. Bro, the Dolphins were so ass as a child that my best friend, George Gilgexis, I don't know where you're at nowadays, bro. We haven't talked since like 6th grade. I hope you're doing well, buddy, if you see this. But it turned me on to the Chargers because I've never known what it's like to have a winning franchise. You know what I mean? The Chargers ain't much better, but like at least I got to experience LaDainian Tomlinson, and that's why I always say he's the best running back of all time. It may be incorrect, but growing
best
up,
I've ever seen.
Dude, like, come on. I mean, like he's didn't. I don't know if he still holds it or not, but I'm pretty sure he has like the most touchdowns by like a running back in NFL history for one season. Like during one season with like 31 or like 29 or something stupid like that. I don't know. I really think it might be time to throw in the towel for the Chargers and like, you know what I mean? Like just kind of switch sides, which sounds fucked up, but like honestly,
be like that.
This is gonna sound so fucked up. I had to do the same thing with the Suns for a little bit. I had to step back, and I was like, all right. No, I'm being serious. That's why I fell in love with OKC. Whenever they had like, of course, everyone fell in love with OKC, but with like OG Russ and like
Durant,
like Victor Oladipo coming off the bench, like dude, like I had to you know take a step back, get some air, see my other options, see that there's a whole another world out there. But
there is.
Once we I don't know, started to get our shit together a little bit. Sounds kind of weird because the Suns, they never really had their shit together up until like 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like once they drafted Devin Booker, I was like, okay, cool. Like this kid's so good that he didn't start in college, and we picked him up. Like maybe they could, maybe we can make something shake with him. And then my homie Ty, he's a huge Suns fan as well. So I was like, you know what? I was like, it's time to don the purple and orange again. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck it. I was like, let's do this. Like, Suns all the way. I can still root for Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? As much as people hate him.
Hey, can I tell you something that you might not know? Going back to the Dolphins and Brian Flores and the Chargers.
What's up?
One of their first rifts between him and management came because he wanted to take Justin Herbert. and they wanted to take Tua, and they took Tua instead of Justin Herbert.
See, I didn't know that before, so you just like took a big old bag of salt and just dumped it in the wound right there, sir. Just dumped it in the wound.
That was one of the first rifts between him and management. Is he wanted they wouldn't like let him make personal. Not to say like he has to make 100% of the decisions, but bros, if I'm coaching the roster, can I pick who I'm a coach? At least the quarterback.
Exactly. At least the field general. Like you all can put everything else around him if you want, but like let me at least get like my main guy. Like this is the guy that's supposed to be our leader. For most organizations, the quarterback is the leader. Like he's supposed to be, the eventual heart and soul of the team. And you've seen what Herbert's done. Of course, he's had some pretty atrocious outings, but I mean, he's also had games where he threw for almost 5 touchdowns. Yeah, 4 or 5 touchdowns and like 400 something yards. Like I've yet to see Tua do anything of the sort. You know what I mean?
Yet to see him do anything of the sort.
Like we have Jalen Waddle, and I know my boy was eating. He had the most rookie receptions, I think.
No, he got busy. Jalen Waddle got busy this year.
Oh, for sure. But I felt bad that it was always behind the line of scrimmage or like, at the line. He had to take screen passes. I mean, whenever I went to the Raiders game live and I saw like them trying to throw like passes in the end zone, like just lateral passes in the end zone to him, I was like, bro, like, come on, at least you get him somebody who can throw farther than fucking 15 yards without like the threat of an interception.
He runs a 4.3. He runs a 4.3. He fast enough to go get under it.
Yeah, who's like Tyreek Hill's not the one fucking shadowing him. You feel me? Like, come on, like it's I don't know. Anyways, welcome to the Stat Daddy podcast, everybody. You know how it goes. I like to start it just in the middle of the fire. I had to vent a little bit to Mr. Chazzy Cade over here. Would you prefer just to go by Chaz nowadays, or is Chazzy Cade still acceptable?
Either or works. Certain people still call me Chazzy Cade, and I get it. It is what it is. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Chaz Trailer, just throw the government out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Trailer. But welcome back. Back from hiatus. I just want to say to the people out there, I had intentions of posting before this. I actually did an episode or 2 with Chaz, but actually the last episode I did, I had Chaz come on. I was talking about NBA way too early MVPs. Spoiler alert, there's still like 6 legitimate MVP contenders in the league, in my opinion, which I'm sure like by the end of the year, it'll boil down to 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But like race is still pretty strong right now. But anyways, yeah, during that episode, Chaz, popped in, we got our convo in, and then like I had food arrive during the episode, so I had to get up and leave, go grab food, brought it up to my room, and then shout out Jakari. He came through with a harvest pack at the time. So I spent like another 10 minutes off camera, and then it turned into a haul video where I just started showing off all the new harvest stuff. And then I was like, what I'm losing sight of like what I came here to do. You know what I mean? And from there, life just happened, but we're back. We're better than ever. So yeah, this episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of moves that I would like to see happen before the trade deadline. I'm trying to make them as realistic as possible. I spent a little time on the NBA trade calculator earlier today. Spoiler alert, it's really hard to fucking make trades in the NBA with all these dumbass contracts that people have.
Boy.
Like, for example, today, breaking news, did you see that the Sixers said that they want to include Tobias Harris with Ben Simmons for trades?
And exactly how Kyle Kuzma said exactly what you just said. How the hell y'all finna package 80 M's?
I looked it up. Yeah, it's roughly I think 78 million. It's 33 million for Ben Simmons, and it's 35 mil cap hit for Tobias Harris. So unless they're gonna put up 2 new fucking franchises anytime soon with like no cap at all, like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Bro, that's literally 2 max players. So that's basically you asking another team to give you either 2 max players or like 3. And the Sixers keep talking about they want equal to what y'all think y'all finna get? CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard?
Dude, they said notice a bonus. Well, I'm a big Sabonis fan. They said notice a bonus for Ben Simmons, which I thought was
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
they
that.
they they denied him. There's a couple other people that they denied as well. But I mean, Sabonis is like an all-star caliber talent,
Oh
triple double
yeah.
machine. He can play center or power forward. You know what I mean? He can play make as well as we've seen. I see him as a Jokic light. Keyword is Jokic light, like
No,
super light.
Sabonis who? The
Yeah,
Sixers are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Who do you think he gonna get?
that's what I'm
Durant?
saying, dog.
Durant? Is that what you expected? Durant?
I what you want Mikal Bridges back? I mean, we just paid him, but like you ain't getting that, man. You guys fucking traded him away to the Suns draft night, fucking assholes, fucking dream of playing with the
Sabonis is an
76ers.
all-star.
Yeah. And honestly, like this isn't realistic. At least I don't think so.
Wow.
Maybe I'm incorrect. This is going to be really high. Like I'm a Suns fan. I love DeAndre Ayton. I would give DeAndre Ayton for a Sabonis. Like,
1,000%.
like, come on.
1,000%.
Like I don't understand what, like you said, the Sixers are drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I don't know what
Boy.
do they think that, like, do you think that fucking Ben Simmons is pulling a Kyrie and is in middle school gyms working on a shot right now? I don't think so.
I don't know, bro. If you don't say yes to Sabonis, then like, because he's an all-star, so then that means you're looking for a superstar in return for Ben Simmons. Nobody is giving you their superstar for Ben Simmons, bro. And I love Ben Simmons. I think he got a bad rap last season. He did, kind of play on himself by not dunking the basketball on Trae Young, and I get that, but Ben Simmons is a great basketball player. I love Ben Simmons, but it's like, bros, you're not getting Durant for Simmons. You're not getting, Anthony Davis for Simmons. You're not getting Jokic for Simmons. So, like, what are you looking for?
I'm trying to find it right now. I can't find the tweet. I really want to figure out who else they said no to or no for, but they had some pretty decent offers, and I'm like, bro, for somebody who hasn't played, we're almost halfway through the season, and like refuses to shoot the basketball under any circumstances. I mean, like gun to his mother's head. Hey, you have to not even make. You have to just shoot a jump shot, and man, just looking for the pass.
Nah.
And, like, bro, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
That's on them. That's on them. Well, and it sucks for Simmons because he losing out on money. I think I see something that he's already lost 8 figures. No, excuse me, 10 figures. In salary this year by not showing up. So that's on him as well. But for the Sixers, bro, you gotta be logical at some point. Like, bro, that blows my mind that they said no to Sabonis for Ben Simmons. Like, you should do that straight up.
You feel me? Like, honestly, like I feel like that would be, for one, like the Pacers are the Pacers. You know what I mean? Going back to like how, like, a franchise is a franchise for the most part.
Right.
Like the Pacers are always just on the verge of like being a playoff contender, like to make it to the playoffs, I should say. Mm-hmm. And like they don't have that piece to push them over that needle. Like Malcolm Brogdon, it was a cool trade. Like when it happened, like he was balling out for the Bucks, but now he's kind of injuries have kind of slowed him down. Mm-hmm. Miles Turner is a dog, but I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. It's beyond me. But sorry, go on ahead.
No, I was gonna say they're just gonna be stuck with Ben Simmons then. Like I don't know what more you're expecting to get for Ben Simmons if you won't take Sabonis. I don't know. Like, if you ask me, Domantas Sabonis is better than Julius Randle.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Do y'all? Okay, so let me ask you. And I mean, I personally wouldn't, but like, do you think they want somebody like Jaylen Brown?
That I could see that happening because, like, well, honestly, I stand corrected because today him and Tatum combined for like 67 points. They each dropped like 33 and 34. They each had like 6 or 7 rebounds. Each had 3 or 4 assists. But that just goes to show how similar players they really are. Right. So like I feel like that honestly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But like why would the Celtics just give you, like I said, like Jaylen Brown for basically Ben Simmons, who's afraid of shooting the shot? Like he's still like Ben Simmons to me currently is like a Draymond Green, where like he don't really he can pass the ball, great IQ, will hustle on defense, but for the life of him, like at least Draymond Green fucking takes the shot. You know what I mean? Like
Every
he's
now and
wide
then,
open.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like he made brick. I've seen him brick way more than he's made so far this season. But at least he has the confidence to be like, you know what? I'm wide open. They pay me money to get the ball through the net. So like I gotta make it shake somehow. It may not work out, but at least I got somebody down there that can get the board. If not, I'm gonna be standing down there getting boards. But I don't know. Shit's just honestly absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah, the Sixers really put themselves up Shit's Creek. That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, while I look for a video, I want to show you because this is like a trade that I would like. I not necessarily would like. I thought might maybe like could be forced. This is just me like stirring the pot, being a little shit starter. Have you noticed Zach LaVine? Like how like whenever DeMar DeRozan takes
Oh, I
over
know
his
exactly.
body language.
I know exactly what video you're talking about too. When DeMar DeRozan hit the one-leg game winner,
and he like threw up his arms and didn't even celebrate, was pissed off, and then like looked around and realized like, oh yeah, like I'm on TV. Like
me and MJ talked about that actually over FaceTime, and it definitely wasn't a good look for Zach LaVine. But I think it takes time. Like players have egos. Zach LaVine is not unique to having an ego. And as much as he doesn't show it, it's tough when a guy comes in and you're the guy. And now, this guy's competing with you for being the guy, especially in a situation where Zach LaVine was at trying to make his name, trying to garner his respect in the league. And now, it's like everybody's giving all the praise to DeRozan. So I get it, kind of. I think he'll be able to get over it in essence. I think winning cures all. Like, I think he threw his hands up as the shot was going up, like, what the hell are you doing? But then as he hit it, it was kind of like, okay. Because if you saw the next night, DeRozan hit the game winner back-to-back nights. And that night, he showed him praise. He showed him love. He ran up to him, gave him a hug, did the whole bit. Yeah. So I think he'll get over it. But I do think that first one was a bad look. I think he looked bad with that.
You know how much I love Zach LaVine, too. So I was just watching him. And I was like, bro, come on, fake it. Man. What is that shit from Madagascar? The penguins, they're like, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Like, come on, man, like something, bro. This is your teammate. This is your teammate.
On, bro,
and you know how much shit DeRozan had, like how much shit he got, like even getting traded. Everyone's saying he was washed and shit.
Right.
Like, come on. And that leads me to my next point before we actually get into these trade talks. Mr. Chazzy K, you were correct. You were right. I, for one, just being the Suns fan, I like to keep my expectations pretty low. So I was like, you know what? The Bulls, they made some moves. I could see them being like the 4 seed, like maybe 6 seed, definitely in playoff contention. But I don't know how they're just going to gel together. My issue wasn't necessarily with DeMar DeRozan. I definitely didn't think he was going to come out and ball like an MVP candidate.
Me neither. In full disclosure, I didn't think that either.
But yeah, but I mean, honestly, I can see him winning Most Improved Player this year, even, which is wild because Mans is so far into his career and was already averaging 22, 25 points before.
Right.
But like, I mean, with how he's played and stuff, like before, I had issue with Lonzo Ball just because I was a hater. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know if necessarily a new team is gonna fix the issues he's had. But as you said, winning cures all, and I think it lit a fire under his ass once he saw the pieces he had around him. I was like, okay. I seen him at the beginning of the season 2. I was like, I still have my I don't know how this is gonna work. They just got picked up Caruso too. They got Kobe White on the bench. Like, I don't know how this is. Boy, I was wrong. I did not see him being the 1 seed in the slightest. So, and you told me that was their ceiling in our previous episode. You said their ceiling is through the roof. Like, they have no limitations.
I think the one thing for me is like when you get so opposite the Bulls and the Lakers, right? A team like the Lakers, you have a player like Russ who he knows how to play basketball. I don't want to say it like he don't know, but he don't know how to play basketball. Like, there's just a thing for understanding how to play 5-man basketball. Let the ball move, let players move. And the Bulls, bro, it wasn't even the DeRozan move. Obviously, the DeRozan move was great, but I've always been a fan of Lonzo. Like, I just thought he needed to gain confidence. To me, that's the difference between him and LaMelo is confidence. They both have the same. Well, LaMelo's a little better natural shooter than him, but Lonzo's improved his shot a lot. But they're basically the same player. Lonzo's a better defensive player than LaMelo. Whenever you have a 6'6" point guard who can guard the 1 through the 4, it's beautiful. And the thing with the Bulls, bro, really though, was Big Vucevic. He can do it all. He can pass the ball. He can shoot the mid-range. He can step out and shoot the 3 if you need. He can play back to the basket. They just literally have a team. Caruso. LeBron should have kept Caruso. Goofy. Like, bro, the Bulls just had a team full of players. Not full of players, but top 7, 8 guys. They just know how to play basketball. And it is showing. And granted, obviously, they needed some crazy game winners to get out of a couple arenas, a couple nights. But, bros, when you got – and I think the thing, too, with DeRozan, he got a very bad rap. He was on a sorry San Antonio team. Like, it's Spurs where the Spurs at right now. I mean, like,
yeah, exactly.
And so now, even for him, like, to be playing for – he was on the Raptors for years, and they would have been a finals team once or twice had it not been for LeGoat James. So once he finally got back around winning, back around talented players, oh, shit, Zach LaVine, he's good. Oh, shit, Lonzo Ball, he plays basketball. Oh, shit, Vucevic, he's talented too. It's like, oh, shit, well, I'm ready to hoop again. And now you look at the Bulls, and I grabbed my phone because I want to see the score between them and the Nets game.
Could you tell me what it is at the moment and like what quarter they're in, if that's okay?
Yeah. They are currently going. There's 23.6 seconds left in the second quarter. Nets are up 62-60.
So, I have a chance still. I have something big to share with you off air at the very end of the
Yeah. Heard that. Yeah. But shout out to the Bulls, bro. Shout out to the Suns. I'm gonna be honest too. I didn't think the Suns would shake back like they did. I thought they would have a bit of a championship hangover. And to see how they started the season, I won't lie to you. I thought it at one point when I made the comment about the Suns and the Bulls, and the Suns is on that ridiculous fucking win streak. I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to have to eat these words.
But, hey, dude, they're both the 1 seeds right now.
Yeah.
Like, they're both the 1 seed. So you weren't too off.
No.
Nah, not too off. Like, in the slightest. Actually, to your point, though, for like a championship hangover, I don't want to jinx my own squad, but like I think it's starting to happen a little bit as far as like watching every Suns game. Like there's so much sloppy play going on, like between like in the specifically in like the second quarter and like the beginning of like the fourth quarter, end of the third quarter. Like it like they've had to like dig themselves out of some pretty big deficits throughout the season. Even yesterday, they were down pretty big to start off the game against Toronto. It was looking like raps, honestly. It was looking pretty bad. Devin Booker, the last couple of games, hasn't really been able to hit the broadside of a barn, but like he's still my boy. And honestly, he's still like doing what he has to do, getting rebounds, some couple steals, making some plays. But it's just like like people are starting to figure them out for real. Like, for example, watching the Miami Heat game when, oh my God, like I felt like they would have done better. Jimmy Butler wasn't playing against them. He was out. So Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson, like the Suns are good at guarding within the paint, all that. They force teams to shoot and make tough like shots outside the arc. I swear I saw the second coming of the Splash Brothers. Like it was like it was disgusting. They were shooting like 70% from the.
That was the game when they combined for damn near like 70.
Yeah. It was like 62 points or 60 points. I had to turn it off halfway through the third. No, Chaz, it was absurd. Like they weren't missing, and the Suns like didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to guard them because they would just keep kicking it out. And as soon as they go back to guard people in the paint, Kyle Lowry, rock outside. Oh, what do you know? We got the fucking we got the white Klay Thompson. We got the, it was, oh my God, yes, Cavaliers beat the Jazz. Let's go comfortably by 20.
Damn.
There's no Rudy Gobert to guard the bucket. So Evan Mobley and Jared Allen probably 8. You know how it
had
goes.
A field day. Yeah. I'm surprised at the Cavs this year. I don't want to get too much off subject, but Cavs have really, really shocked the shit out of me.
I didn't think Darius Garland was going to take the leap that he did, especially without Colin Sexton next to him. I'm not even cap.
Nope.
Like I don't think he's gonna be like an all-star this season, but like there's like a he's definitely like snub worthy. You know, like we could say that he's snubbed whenever he
Yeah.
doesn't make it. Because
Mhm.
especially since the all-star like game has positions still, which I think is kind of goofy. I know like, you know, you can't have guards
Agreed.
versus guards and stuff, but like I don't know. It's just
The game is positionless now, so LeBron
like,
plays the five.
and is the third best center in the NBA when he is.
And
Like
you feel me? Like,
it's absurd.
bro, yeah. Like, what position does Giannis actually play? Like, is he a 3, a 4, a 5?
Like exactly, bro.
I agree.
But sorry. So let's. I wanted to cover another topic after the trades. I wanted to cover if triple doubles actually do influence winning in basketball, and I have some numbers I'd like to share with you, and we could talk about it a
Hmm.
little bit. But
Hmm.
before we get into that, I'm just going to go through a couple of these trades and such, and I
Hmm.
want to hear your opinion if you think that they're a good fit or not.
Hmm.
Even if you don't necessarily have an answer, like I said, I was just on the fucking trade calculator all day, just
Yeah.
shitting my day away, basically. Uh, but yeah, so just on the topic of the Bulls, there's gonna be a lot of recurring faces. At least I'm gonna be honest with you, because there's a
Hmm.
couple of players I really want to see make a move.
Hmm.
But just getting into it, this is a really obvious one that everyone's been talking about. Jeremy Grant to the Bulls. So how I would see it shaking out, where they could make, because honestly, the Bulls, their biggest weakness is defense. And I know you
Hmm.
said Vucevic can do it all, but the one thing, in my opinion, that he still really lacks is being a rim protector.
Agreed.
Like he gets bullied by a lot of the other centers in the league.
Hmm.
Sometimes his scoring and his team, well, not sometimes, a lot of the time, his team's scoring and his own will make up for such like
Right.
weaknesses. But Jeremy Grant could cover the 1 through 4, even some certain fives sometimes, like as
Hmm.
far as guarding goes. And he may not be like the same scorer that he once was, but he can still get the rock in the bucket. So
Right.
uh, I don't know how this is going to age, because Kobe White recently has come into his own and is
Hmm.
playing out of his mind as a six man. But I would like to see the Pistons pick up Derek Jones Jr., Kobe White, and Patrick Williams. Just give those players their own start. The Pistons really need some help. I feel like Cunningham is a great guard, but besides that, the Pistons don't really have any guard play. So I feel like that's where Kobe White could really come into play.
Hmm.
Patrick Williams is killing it, and I think he could fill the void of Jeremy Grant at like when healthy, and even surpass his ceiling.
Hmm.
And then Derek Jones Jr. Honestly, he has a $9 million a year contract. So that would, that I know these contracts are absurd, but but I feel that's just to make the cap work. But
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see that happening. A lot of these players are actually injured at the moment. I actually just got a notification 2 minutes ago that Derek Jones Jr. just hurt his knee in the game, and they don't know how bad it is.
Wow.
And Patrick Williams is still coming back from injury as well.
Hmm.
But you know, shit, it's not 2K. You can trade injured players, I heard. So,
Hey, you feel
so
me?
yeah, but that's kind of an obvious one. How would you feel about Jeremy Grant on the Bulls? Because that's like kind of the bigger thing, since the Bulls are pushing for the chip.
I don't want to be disrespectful to Kobe White because he has been hooping.
Yeah,
But that would make the Bulls a real championship contender,
I agree.
especially if you can get Jeremy Grant to buy into coming off the bench, because I think that's where he would be most suitable. If you have
Hmm.
a second lineup coming in with Caruso and Jeremy Grant
Dude,
playing against backups,
oh my god, I
I I actually like that. For the Pistons, I don't know what they're looking to get for Jeremy Grant. I don't know if they're expecting. I don't know if they got drinking the same Kool-Aid the Sixers drinking. But I think that would be because I heard something about the Lakers trying to trade for Jeremy Grant.
ooh,
The problem with the Lakers though is you have three players eating up the whole salary, and then everybody else is just nibbling on crumbs. And unfortunately, even if you boxed all those crumbs together, you don't have a cookie. So you couldn't. So
not all.
you couldn't trade him to the Lakers. I don't think so. I think that would be a very good move. Uh, Speaking of Jeremy Grant, I was telling my brother the other day the Blazers should try to get Jeremy Grant.
I would actually really like that. That'd be really good. The one thing though is, like, I was looking at like the Trailblazers, and like just between contracts and like not wanting to give up Damian Lillard and McCollum, like
They have no assets.
It's similar to like the Lakers situation, and exactly like
Mm-hmm.
you said, like it's like who are you really going to give up? Like maybe Nurkic, but like who's who
100%.
who really wants Nurkic? Like
Nobody.
no offense to Nurkic, like he was a good
No,
center
no,
like 3 years
no.
ago.
Offense to Nurkic. Offense to Nurkic.
Yeah.
He's trash and lazy. Like that's what that is. He's very lazy. He plays very sloppy. He always filing. I trade him immediately. But again, like you said, who won it?
Exactly.
But I like that Jeremy Grant to the Bulls though. I think that's a very good trade.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that one personally. That's the one that's been thrown around the most on social media that I've seen.
Okay.
But I do agree that would be a great fit, and that would put him over the edge. And dude, even coming off the bench, like you said, as part of the second team,
Mm-hmm.
bro, that would be disgusting.
If you
But
got to play the Nets, that gives you, or the Bucks, that gives you somebody to try to deal with Giannis, try to deal with Durant. Obviously, they still gonna put that work in, but he has a body frame to match up with what those guys body frames.
that's actually perfect that you mentioned the Bucks, because the next trade that I would personally like to see, I would like to see Brook Lopez and Rodney Hood shipped out to the Mavericks, because I feel like, you know, the Mavericks are a couple pieces away, like role pieces. Like Luka
Mm-hmm.
and Porzingis could really shoulder the load, but I would like to
Mm-hmm.
see Maxi Kleba on the Bucks as a stretch big. Like his shooting is from the like outside the field is amazing in my opinion. And to see a lineup with him, Middleton, Portis, Holiday, and Giannis, I don't know. I really like that. And I feel like Brook Lopez, like he can hit shots from the outside and do all this stuff, but I feel like he's starting to trend downwards as far as like his
Mm-hmm.
ability. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Maxi Kleba is a good enough, like a solid enough player where he can come in and actually be a pretty big asset to the Bucks.
I definitely think he helps him as far as, I mean, and Brook can shoot the three. Not to take that away from Brook. Brook can
Exactly.
shoot the
Yeah.
three. He stretches the floor very well. If the Bucks are willing to give up that size, I think Brook Lopez in the center, even if it's only for 12 minutes a game, having his body there, having his length there to protect the rim when Giannis is either in foul trouble or taking a break or not there at the time, maybe he's out on the perimeter or whatever. If the Bucks are willing to give that up and try to get younger, because I do agree, like Brook Lopez is not going to play for forever, and right now you have a pretty young nucleus in Brooklyn or in Milwaukee. It'd be cool to try to keep that going, and I think that would be fair for both teams as well. I think that's another good trade.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think they sacrifice too much size, because Maxi Kleba, I
Mm-hmm.
believe on paper is like 6'10" is what they have him listed as.
Yeah.
But
Brook Lopez is a footer, and he's a big footer.
I was about to say, yeah, to your point, Brook Lopez, if he puts his arms straight up, I don't see very
Yeah.
many people
Bro,
except like
yeah,
KD shooting over.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. He's a legit footer.
So a team that's probably the two recurring teams. I hate saying teams. Well, two recurring teams that are going to be mentioned in these trades a lot are probably going to be the Spurs and the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's kind of a little iffy. But I would like to see Dante Sabonis possibly go to the Wizards to help them out because Spencer Dinwiddie hasn't really been getting it done. I mean, as of late, he's been putting up decent numbers, but he had a very slow start to the season. Bradley Beal's still trying to shoulder the load completely. And as much as Kuzma's been balling out, I think Kuzma had like a 26 and 22 game as of recent.
Yeah. The other night.
I think Kuzma would be like kind of better off as a six man for the Wizards. So I would like to see them get rid of that. The Wizards get rid of that disgusting Davis Bertans contract of $16 million a year for 4 years that they're locked into currently. And Rui Hachimura, I believe is how you say it. He's developing. He's a pretty good player, but I think what cures a lot of issues with younger talent, which was evident by me watching Jalen Smith play this season for the Suns, is giving them minutes. Whenever you give certain players like minutes, especially younger players, and you allow them to come into their own and get that confidence, I feel like it really, really helps out. But yeah, I would like to see them and maybe like throw in like a couple of seconds or maybe a first for Sabonis along with them. I feel like that would be a pretty fair trade. I think the Wizards are getting the better end of the stick for sure by getting Sabonis, but Yeah, the Pacers just need to do something. They just need to blow that shit up and just restart because I don't really know what's happening down there. Like they have a lot of decent pieces. Miles Turner, Levert, Brogdon, Chris Duarte, the rookie.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for Sabonis to move on and try to get some wins, in my opinion, like on some decent
Where
teams.
where are the Wizards at in the playoff picture right now?
Wizards currently, I can look that up really quick.
Yep.
I don't have it off the top of my head.
Yeah, me neither. I just asked that though. Go ahead.
They're the 9 seed right now. They're 22-20.
Okay. I just asked that because I'd like to see a player like Sabonis be able to compete for a champion. Not necessarily a championship, but be on a competitive playoff ball club. And I just didn't know if the Wizards were in that range of being a playoff ball club. I know they started the season fairly hot, and then the ends regressed to the means over the last 25 games or so. Sure. I definitely think the Pacers catch the short end of that trade. Yeah. For Sabonis and Bradley Beal, that would be a great match. Kuzma's still coming off the bench. That gives you something.
And also, Sabonis can also play the center position. I know they got Montrezl Harrell eating right now, but like him and I would like to see them play together, even you know what I mean. But you can. I feel like it's a pretty a couple of versatile things you could be doing with them.
Bro, not to get too far off subject, but speaking of Montrezl Harrell, did you see that they said him and KCP got in a physical altercation at halftime?
Hey man. I maybe it stems back to whenever they were trying to malarkey back in the day, as if it was like even, but like I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never liked KCP as a player personally, but that's also because I'm a hater. But yeah,
I mean he's mid. He's mid.
Yeah, and Montrez is definitely like he's underrated in the sense that he doesn't get the credit he really deserves a lot of the time because he is a good ball player. But a lot of people just they're like, okay, cool, like you're a 6 man on the Clippers and what now you're
right
on the Wizards, like cool, you know what I mean? Like he kind of flies under the radar, but yeah, I saw that. I was like, why? Like they ended up winning the game. I was like, why? Like, like what the fuck is the issue?
I don't know. But as far as that trade, though, I mean, if the Pacers are willing to do that, I don't know what their plan is as far as blowing it up. I don't know what they got going. But I think that would be good for the Wizards, though. I think that would be good for Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal deserves much better than he's been getting the last couple years, whether it be from with Russ, or with John Wall. And that's a good. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna talk about John Wall contract. Anyway, bro. But I mean, if the Wizards can pull that off at the trade deadline, I think that gives them a chance to make a late push to at least stay in that 8, 9, 10 range for a play-in spot. And Sabonis definitely he give you 22 and 10 easy. So I think that would help Bradley Beal.
And having people around him that can actually make shots consistently.
Right.
He's already getting triple doubles, so like I feel like that just helps him more.
Agreed.
But another Pacers player, like I said, they're gonna be a heavily featured team because they already said they're gonna be selling 1 or 2 of either Levert, Sabonis, or Miles, or trying to. I talked about how I wanted to see Jarrett Allen on the Hornets last season, and he ended up going to the Cavs. It ended up working out for the Cavaliers, but Miles Turner to the Hornets for PJ Washington, who's a good young player who, like I said, more minutes could cure a lot of shit. I feel like, he could use a fresh start, especially after what happened with the baby mama, get his mind off things, focus on the new team.
I don't know what happened, but that just sounds funny.
All right, so I could be butchering the story, but my understanding is the woman that he's married to was way older than him when he was in high school, came to all of his high school games, went to all of his college games, ended up getting with him when he was in college, stuck with him throughout the NBA draft, as soon as he got paid with his new contract, she got knocked up by him and immediately asked for a divorce. And he has to pay $250,000 in child support a month or something along those lines. And she's very open about how women need to get their bag and they got to do what they have to do to make money. And she's non-apologetic, and she is very, very vocal about it. She's literally like Bill Burr had that fucking skit on Gold Digging Horse. It's an epidemic. Oh my god, she is leading the charge. She is like face painted Braveheart leading them down the hill. Like it is. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. But he low key got groomed. Yeah.
PJ. Oh,
I'm
I'm
sure your
not gonna
brother
say
knows about
too
it too.
much, but
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
to
bro.
hear that you got like that. Ah, bro.
Yeah.
But
And then yeah, it's not. But yeah, so Miles Turner for PJ, Mason Plumlee to make the contract work, and give them a center back to the Pacers who's like serviceable at best. And like I said, Sabonis can play the center position and does frequently. So maybe PJ can slide into that 4 spot. And then Ish Smith is a serviceable guard who has a $5 million contract for 2 years. He can make shit shake. Like there's plenty of times throughout this past seasons where he'll put up 20 points for like 12, 13 games.
It's hoop.
Yeah, he can hoop. So I would really like to see the Hornets actually get like a legitimate center.
I think that would be because they need one. They need one.
They
That's why
really
I
need
wanted
it.
it. That's why I wanted him to get Jared Allen. And I like PJ Washington. I like the way he plays. I like his ability to stretch the floor as well. But he doesn't protect the rim that well. Him and Miles, what's my boy name? Miles Bridges. Yeah. They're sort of like the same player, but Miles Bridges is obviously better than PJ Washington as of this year.
Really coming into his own.
Yeah. So I think that would be a great trade for the Hornets, actually. I think Miles Turner would eat off that. Melo Ball would be serving you them lobs up all day, you understand? I feel about Melo Ball. But no, I think that would be a great trade for the Hornets, actually, because they need some rim protection. And as we talked earlier about Lopez being a legitimate footer, Miles Turner is a legitimate footer. You know what I mean? And he plays hard. Yep. He's improved his 3-point shot. He's gotten much better over the years. So I like that trade for the Hornets. Actually, you probably should call Mike. Hey, bud.
Hey, man. I got one for you, bro.
Yeah. Not trying to tell you how you do your job here, baby, but if you're willing to listen, I got something that might work. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Another hooper that I would sincerely like to see kind of branch out into his own, and I feel like a team that really needs some fresh blood. 76ers making a trade with the Timberwolves. I would love to see Malik Beasley go to the 76ers. And I feel like if they were to give up maybe like a Danny Green and then some filler pieces, like Charles
Danny
Bassey,
Green's still in the league?
I believe so. He was listed on the roster whenever I was doing the trades. Like I said, I was just sugarfooting on the thing all day long, just trying to see what I could throw at the wall and make stick because these contracts are disgusting.
Boy, okay, I didn't know Danny was still in the league.
I could be incorrect. Like I said,
no, I mean if you see him on the roster, he probably there. He probably just not getting no tick, just not getting no burn.
Yeah, and then then Jaden Springer as well. He's like a serviceable shooting guard that's young and can develop into something. But I feel like the Timberwolves, they're always kind of like, you know what I mean? Like they do really well. They go on hot streaks. Like it's all good and fun. Anthony Edwards has helped them out tremendously. But I feel like Malik Beasley really deserves to have a starting role. And with Anthony Edwards in fucking Minnesota,
D'Lo.
Yeah. D'Lo, like I feel like they got the guard position kind of locked down at the moment.
I couldn't definitively say that Malik Beasley would start on the Sixers though, because I'm not starting him over Seth Curry, and I don't know if they would start him over Tyrese Maxey either.
Well, Tyrese Maxey is hurt, and I don't know how long.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. He's on my fantasy squad.
Yeah. Okay. I got who starts at the 3 for the Sixers.
I'll look that up right
now. I know Seth Curry.
I've been watching a lot of Sixers ball. I can't even lie, I haven't.
Talk about me neither. I haven't really been watching too much basketball. I watch the highlights and stuff like that. I like on YouTube. I go back and watch all the the buckets made in the game. I watch those 8-minute, 9-minute, 10-minute videos, however long they are. But I don't really start really watching hoop until after football season is over.
They have Matisse Thybulle currently starting for him.
He's not starting over Matisse Thybulle. Not even close. Not even close. Matisse Thybulle is one of the best defensive players in the year. I forgot about Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle, actually, I apologize, bro. That was disrespectful of me to not know you was starting. I apologize. Now, Matisse Thybulle slide his feet. He sits in the chair. So to say that, I think he'd be a good role player coming off the bench for the Sixers, but I don't know if he would get that starting nod on the Sixers right away. But I think he gives the Sixers more than Danny Green.
How about to the Grizzlies maybe? Because there's another one I did where the Grizzlies would ship out Kyle Anderson and I don't even know this guy's name, John Conshore, and a second for Malik. I don't know. It's more of a fantasy to see Malik Beasley play right next to John Morant, but at the same time, like the fucking Grizzlies have been balling out, so I don't think they should play shit.
Yeah. And I actually like Kyle Anderson too, bro. He's another one of those, but he's like a Draymond Green. Not as aggressive, not as good on defense, but with the ball in his hands, he can facilitate the offense. And Kyle Anderson is a very, very intelligent basketball player. I personally think
he has to be.
God, because that boy moves like a snail. But it works. It works for him.
I about to say he moves so slow that other people can't like wrap their head around it, and like they can still get by. It's like it's awkward to watch, but it works. It works.
I agree. I don't think the Grizzlies should mess anything up. Just to let you know, last Saturday when me and MJ did our podcast, I was asking him. We did a segment on who we thought was current season MVP, and I told this before they beat the Warriors. I told, bro, Ja Morant, like, and nobody will give him the nod because he's only in his third year. But you know who he reminds me of a lot in his third year? There was a young guy in his third year. Not to get too far off, so just real quick. There was a young guy in his third year who played for a ball club that won 60 some odd games. Was the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. He actually wore number one on his jersey as well.
Yep,
and he really took the league by storm quickly. He got so good so fast. And I think everybody, well, if you don't know, you know, I'm talking about Derrick Rose. And Ja Morant just gives me a lot of those Derrick Rose vibes. Now, obviously, he's much more out there, but just in style of play, his athleticism, the way he's able to score the basketball, the way he has that mid-range floater, that finishing around the rim, and what Derrick Rose was able to do. Now, obviously, do I think the Grizzlies could win 60 games this year? Probably not. Probably started a little too slow. I think y'all could win 52 to 55. You know,
and if on a 10-game win streak right now.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I like Ja a lot. I like Ja a lot, bro. So if I were to, and I also again I like Kyle Anderson. If I were the Grizzlies, it ain't broke, so I wouldn't fix it.
I got one more trade. Okay. The Hawks are trying to move Cameron Reddish currently, which is kind of interesting to me because he's like a point of attack defender and can hit the three when he needs to. You know, he can score. He can score. I would like to see him go to the Jazz. I feel like that would really push him over the edge. Like maybe him for like Azubuike, Pascal, and a first round pick maybe because the Jazz are going to be pretty good. You know, so you know it won't really matter too much.
Right.
I think that would really like set them over the the top, and whether he comes off the bench or maybe he replaces Ingles in the starting lineup or whatever happens, I would really enjoy to see that because they already have some amazing defense. You know, already defensive player of the year candidate and winner 3 times already, Rudy Gobert.
Right.
Like, I feel like that would really push them over, and they're already like I think top 3 in defensive rating right now. So
always.
So I feel like Cam Reddish should be a great addition.
I like that. I think Cam Reddish has a lot of untapped potential. And he's playing on a team where everything is ran through 11. And I get it. Yep. Obviously, Trae Young is extremely talented with basketball in his hands.
Yeah.
And I agree. I also think if you have, Jordan Clarkson and Cam Reddish coming off your bench, that could be instant firepower. And that's what the Jazz need sometimes. Sometimes they play great defense, but in the playoffs, sometimes y'all just don't have enough players so you can be like, hey, go get a bucket, bro. Like, the system offense is cool, but like, here's the basketball. Make it find the rim. And Cam Reddish, to me, is one of those players. I think Cam Reddish could grow into being an all-star type of player if in the right system, if he's given the right opportunity. I don't want to see him come off the bench, but I know he would with the Jazz. But I think that would be good for him and grooming him, and then maybe in 3-4 years, he's now a starter. He's alongside Donovan. And I think that could be a really good point. So I actually like that too. I like that trade a lot as well. And if the Hawks are trying to get off him, then
which is weird to me, but they've already come out and said it. But like we talked about already, sports don't make sense a lot of the time. At least the people making the decisions don't. So
well, it's because they gave Bogdanovich $80 million, so you can't put him on the bench. You can't tell him.
They spent so much money on Gallinari too.
Right. Like, and Gallo is as good of a basketball player as Gallo is. That's a hard contract to move at his age.
Exactly.
So I mean, if you got to move off Cam Reddish, I think that'll come back to bite them. That'll be like, breaking up with that one person, and then you kind of look back a couple years later and you're like, shit, I probably shouldn't have did that. And I think if they traded Cam Reddish, that'll probably be what happens. But if you want to get off him, I think the Jazz would be a good team for him to go to.
Yeah. Personally, my favorite like little trade packages that I came up with were the Miles Turner to the Hornets, and then Cam Reddish one to the Jazz. Those are like my maybe I have a spot, being a GM one day or something.
The Miles Turner one was genius. The Miles Turner one was genius. I love that. Maybe it's because I love LaMelo Ball and I want to see him get any opportunity to win. But I think the Miles Turner was a genius. I think, hey Mike, hey bud,
pick up the phone, baby.
Hey, you feel me? Hey, I like that too, though. I think they were all good trades, though. All of them were logical trades. I could tell you took your time, you did your homework, you studied, because they were all logical trades. None of them was like some far out shit that couldn't happen. They were all good trades. Some better for one team than the other, maybe, but that's what happens in a trade sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they like I said, the Grizzlies ones were kind of like, I mean, I can't figure out anything else. Like, these are realistic contracts that they could want to get rid of, I guess. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I wasn't in love with a lot of these actually, but like I said, it's hard to do that. It's hard to figure out the contracts and all that. Because like I said, like in 2K, you could just turn off the money and then swap whoever. It don't work like that. Especially whenever like so many teams are already in the negative. Like I didn't realize how many teams have negative money until I was looking at it. I was like, damn, bro, like.
Especially now, bro, y'all be giving out these fat ass contracts. And the one that mainly is mind boggling to me is that the Rockets really traded Russ for John Wall. And now you're trying to move in a young direction and not even playing John Wall, yet you owe him $40 some odd million annually. Couldn't be me.
Sir. I'm sorry. How, like I haven't seen John Wall play basketball in how many seasons? Like,
bro, I don't even know if I had facial hair last time John Wall hooped. Like,
it feels like another Gilbert Arenas thing where it's like just like Gilbert Arenas like could hoop just like how John Wall could hoop, but like just the amount of money, like they're still paying Gilbert today, and I feel like that's gonna be John Wall in 5 years. Still, they're gonna be like, we're still. I don't even know how we have this much money left. Like, I don't know how we have this franchise still.
Hey, bro, John Wall, he got his burglary mask on, and he is getting out of the bank with the bag, no cameras, no nothing, clean sweep heist, because he is robbing the Rockets blind. Like, but that's what they signed up for. So, hey.
Yeah, power to him, I guess. I don't know. As if the Rockets need any more obstacles in their way, right? Like,
God, and that's a big one, a $40-some odd million one.
I think it's like 42 or 45 or something like that. Up there with like him, and I feel like him and Dame have like the craziest like contracts. Or like
Russ. You know what I mean? He got the same contract as Russ.
Yeah. See, all right. So speaking of Russ, I see a lot of slander on Russ. A lot of it's deserved. On NBA Twitter. There's a YouTuber, I believe his name's what is it, like Jimmy Range or something like that. He did a video talking about the triple double and does it actually equate to winning basketball. So he put up the stats for Russ's career. So Russ in his career has a 57% winning percentage. He's won 224 games and lost 172. But when Russ has had a triple double, he has a winning percentage of 71% with 111 wins and 46 losses. Granted, this season it's 5-4 when he has a triple double. But the numbers point that whenever Russell Westbrook gets triple double, basketball team is winning. And so he goes even further in depth with it. Games where Russell Westbrook has less than 4 turnovers, that he has a 58% win rate. Overall record is a 57% win rate. So whenever he has high turnovers, essentially what the numbers are saying, this doesn't mean that it's the God, the God-given truth or the fact or law, but it's pointing that his turnovers don't necessarily affect the winning. Granted, like I said, the numbers will lie to you a lot of the time, but yeah, like it's kind of absurd. And people will say that like scoring, the biggest thing that Russ lacks is like scoring, which I don't know if that's necessarily like his biggest issue. But in games where Russ has scored 40 points or more since 2016, he's 19-15, 56% win rate, which means it doesn't affect the team's winning that much. So I don't think so. The scoring necessarily isn't the issue, but as a Laker fan, how do you feel about Russell Westbrook currently on the squad? And do you think, the triple doubles and turnovers and scoring, like how do you feel about having Russ on the squad? I know we already discussed the wild contract. I've already said my piece in previous videos how I think they should have picked up Buddy Hield instead of Russ. I feel like that would have been a better fit. But how do you personally feel?
Well, first, I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a fan of LeBron's legacy. I've never been a fan of like a basketball team. Like right now, my favorite player is LaMelo Ball, so I like to see the Hornets do the best they can. But
fun to watch them, honestly. They have fun basketball.
And I love the Hornets. But overall, with Russ and the Lakers, I think the guy from YouTube, everything is situational, and it's what does the game call for that on that specific evening, or with the roster that you're on at that specific time, what does that roster need? When Russ played with the Thunder, he wasn't winning games with triple doubles when KD was there because that wasn't necessary. He wasn't winning games with triple doubles when James Harden was there, granted for a short stint of time, and even James Harden at the time, but he was still a good basketball player. It wasn't necessary. But once they left, and it was him and Victor Oladipo and Jeremy Grant and Steven Adams, well, it was necessary. Like, I have to score. I have to create the offense. I have to facilitate for others. And the offense, it moves faster if Russ just gets the rebound and takes it the other way versus Steven Adams getting the rebound, having to wait for everybody to clear out, and then giving the ball to Russ. By that time, we've given the defense time to go down and set up. So I think the triple-double thing, and like right now with the Lakers don't need Russ to get triple-doubles because LeBron can facilitate the offense. Not to say that he wants to do that all the time, but I think the Lakers' biggest problem with Russ right now is I don't know where the fuck all of his touch went. And not to say that he ever had a lot, but bro, Russ can't finish layups. He can't make mid-range jump shots. And then when you do turn the ball over 9 times, 8 times, 7 times, quadruple doubles 12 times, and your team already doesn't play good defense, you're killing us, bro, because you're giving that team 9 extra possessions, 12 extra possessions, 7 extra possessions. So I think that's a very situational kind of thing. Like when it was with the Thunder, without KD, it was called for. Last year when it was with the Wizards and they went on that late game or late season run and Russ was averaging like 16 rebounds and 16 assists for I don't know how many games it was, but it was absolutely stupid. It called for that on the Wizards. It doesn't call for him to get triple doubles on the Lakers. Not to say he shouldn't get those, or if they happen, it's a bad thing. But I think what the Lakers need from him is just smarter basketball. Like, bro, slow it down sometimes. Stop jumping in the air and not knowing where the fuck you going with the ball before you jump in the air and you end up in no man's land and then you do some dumb shit. Stop fucking shooting the basketball off the top of the fucking backboard. Like you can't see the rim. It's like Russ be shooting that bit like he's shooting on a 15-foot rim. Like
brother.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Brother. Like shoot the bitch at the rim, bro. It's 10 feet. Like get it at the rim, bros. That's his problem now. It's not everybody, like you said, everybody's trying to kill Russ. Yeah. And I mean, everybody talks about the Buddy Hield thing. The Lakers' problem is not shooting. Malik Monk can shoot. Carmelo can shoot. The problem is they can't play defense. That's their problem. Russ doesn't play defense. Malik Monk doesn't play defense. Melo doesn't play defense. Wayne Ellington doesn't play defense. And then you have no rim protection because you play Dwight Howard every other night, 8 minutes a night. AD don't want to play the 5. He's soft as baby shit. That's their problem. It don't have nothing to do with Russ or with, oh, they can't shoot. They can shoot the damn ball. You can't stop people from shooting the ball. Everybody go for career nights when they play the Lakers. I remember I heard saying this, so I said, and he was right on the money. Everybody be having 35, 40, shooting 77% from the field, 80% from 3 when they play the Lakers. It's like, come on, bro. Y'all gotta slide your fucking feet. That's their problem. And that's why they not gonna go nowhere in the playoffs at all.
Honestly. I agree. I agree completely. Like it hurt hearing you say like career night because I just got flashbacks, like I said, to the Suns when they played the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero just fucking shooting that bitch and having like 80% make. Oh my God, that's it's living rent free in my head if you couldn't tell. But
the Suns don't have that problem though. The Suns don't have that problem though. They play defense.
Oh yeah, for sure. And,
they play defense.
They don't turn the lately they've been turning the ball over quite a bit actually, and it's kind of frustrating, like I say. But
and that kills you, bro. If you lose the turnover battle in any sport, especially the two sports I watch the most, basketball and football, you're probably gonna lose the game. Yeah, it's as simple as that. If you give the other team extra possessions to put points up and take possessions away from you, that means like when you turn the ball over, they're getting an extra shot at the rim, and we're losing that chance to shoot the ball.
Exactly.
As simple as that.
Well, Mr. Chazzy Cade, it's great having you on the show today. We're hitting that hour mark, and you know I'm trying to be better about my time management.
Heard that.
So as amazing as this conversation has been, I feel like we wrapped up all the topics I kind of wanted to cover. I wanted to cover the whole Russell Westbrook situation because you are a LeBron's legacy fan. You know, you want to see him succeed, and he's a piece around him. So I wanted to talk to you about that. My apologies for calling you a Laker fan. I'm sorry.
It's all good, bro.
It's almost insulting because like I know you're not that delusional. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, Lakers fans I'm sorry, Lakers fans, y'all are pretty delusional out there.
Very.
You're coming from somebody who said after the 8-0 bubble that the Suns are going to the finals, and fucking it happened. But I mean, like, that's some delusional shit. That's some delusional shit. I was looking like a clown with my homie Jeff. It was we were looking. Everyone's looking at us.
Only for a little bit though, bro. It's only for a couple months. By the end of the season, y'all look like geniuses.
Hey, right. It was just that's like whenever we put money on Ja Morant to win Rookie of the Year before Zion got hurt, like before the season started. We're like, okay, Ja Morant, Rookie of the Year, because we my homie Jeff is actually friends with Schmitty, the guy that sits down and does those basketball like he'll go over people's gameplays for the college recruits for ESPN, like the Mike Schmidt or whatever. Yeah, he's actually friends with him in college. Okay.
Yeah.
So they would talk, and he's like, "Yo, this kid Ja Morant's crazy." So then Jeff's like, "Yo, Ja Morant's crazy," and then
hey,
this man's the second coming of Derrick Rose and then some. But yeah, so we'll start watching Murray State basketball. There's no reason why somebody should watch Murray State basketball if they have no idea what they're looking for. You know what I mean? So, you know, shouts out Jeff. You and I are right about the Suns and Ja. We're looking crazy, but yeah, some of these Lakers fans, I'm like, yo, guys, like you discussed. Yeah, it's like just let it go.
Let it go. Let it go, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, then I feel like we covered the trades pretty well. I got your feedback, and it's even though you don't necessarily keep up with basketball as much as you used to, it's still like really nice to like kind of get in your head and like talk to you about like your feelings and opinions, because I know like you still watch highlights and you still keep up when you can. But
Yeah, I'm still tapped in. I just don't sit
yeah,
down
for
and
sure.
watch every game in its
Yeah, exactly.
entirety until it's the nitty gritty time. Like that's when I'm.
Oh, for sure.
But I
Fourth
still
quarter basketball is the best basketball. You know what I mean?
Woj, look, he light up my watch all day. He not on here right now,
Yep.
but Woj, I got my Woj alerts on. When anything going down, I do still
Yep.
stay tapped in.
That's like me with the score app. This is so absurd. I have you can't really see it. I have every single player. I have every single player's updates in the NBA. Like
Sheesh.
so, like I know what everybody's doing. I know if they're available, not available. If their mom made them pasta for dinner or not. Like I could tell you. Yeah, knees weak, arms are heavy. But yeah. Once again, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show, and
Always.
I'm gonna leave the fans on a little cliffhanger. Mr. Cade, I would like to talk to you about a little project that shout out Kuya Josh. He convinced me to be a part of.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you for watching the Stat Daddy podcast. Hopefully, not hopefully, we're not going to use that terminology. I will be posting more frequently, and
there you go.
You feel me? I will be posting more frequently, possibly even coming out with a couple of live streams where I can actually interact with you guys live and you can ask me questions. Little bit about me, if you're new to the show, I love basketball. The reason why is because fantasy football is awesome, and then I got addicted, and then I was like, yo, I love basketball. I want to be tapped in. Like, I'm gonna do fantasy basketball, and whenever you play any fantasy sports, you got to be tapped in with everybody. And then from there, it just became an obsession, and it's so much fun to watch. There's so many crazy things on a night to night basis that happens. So I try. It sounds really stupid, but I watch about 4 games of basketball every night from start to garbage time. No ads. There's plenty of websites out there. NBA replaystreams.net, I think it is. You can watch. It breaks it down into each quarter for you, and no ads at all.
That's actually okay. Send me that site. I would love that. Send me that site when you can.
Yeah. And so I just catch the replays after work. Most of the time I already know what happens if I'm betting or just, watching the game casually as I'm running food to tables at work. But yeah, I keep up a lot, and I just love the game, honestly. I've always been garbage at it. I have, oh my God, I can lock a couple people, my size down, but like besides that, I don't got a shot, none of that. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Thank you guys for coming out, and yeah, be easy. Peace out,
Good
y'all.
to see you, bro.
Yes, sir.